Hey, Steve Stine from Guitar Zoom here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at this guitar right here, which is the Ciari Ascender Standard Plus. Now, what makes the Ciari guitars so unique is that they're actually foldable. Right at the 12th fret, they fold, and so you can take them when you travel. I got to know the people from Ciari a lot better this year at an event that happens in Anaheim, California called NAMM. And I was in a hotel for 10 days. This year I decided I do not want to bring my guitar. I don't want to lug it around. I just, want to enjoy myself a little bit, have my meetings, that sort of thing. And then, of course, one day into being there, I was wishing I had my guitar with me. Well, what makes this guitar so unique is that it actually folds at the 12th fret. So you can, throw it on your back and carry it. You can put it underneath the seat on the plane or overhead, whatever it might be. It makes travel really easy, which is great. But what's most important is how does it play and how does it feel and how does it sound, right? I mean, it looks good, but, so the question was, is it a gimmick? Right? And of course, the answer is it is not at all. It's a 22 fret guitar. The neck is actually plek'd, if you know what plecking is. So it plays really smooth. It's really even, that sort of thing when you play it. It comes with two Seymour Duncan 59s, and both of them have coil splits in them as well. So you can split them into single coil if you'd rather do that. Of course, toggle switch for the 3 positions. But the big thing here is how does it play? Now, when you first get it, it comes with 10s for strings. Now, 10s are a little hard for me, so I asked them, I said, can I put 9s on there? And like, yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead and put 9s on there. So I did that. And I want to show you the back here really quick, because this is where kind of all the action is, and then we'll listen to it as well. But there's a pulley system here, okay, that when you release this, it folds the neck down. And then, of course, you can put it back. So what I understand is that with this pulley system, what it does is it takes approximately 118 pounds of pressure on the neck, and it kind of diverts it into 3 pounds of pressure that the lever does. So it's really easy to pull the lever and flip it down, and I'll do that in just a second here. So you can bring it wherever it is that you're going and then flip it back out. I was talking to a couple of friends from Nashville that have been using them to do session work when they travel on a plane. Instead of bringing a guitar and having to check it or put it under the plane or whatever, they just bring these. So I thought what we'll do today is we'll just look at it and we'll listen to it, and so you get a sense of it. So I'm on my usual guitar tone with my Synergy amp back here. I'm using the exact same thing I always use. So right now I'm running the Twin Deluxe module for all those kinds of sounds, those kind of cleaner sounds, you know. And here's absolute clean. And then a little bit of crunch in there. So I spent a lot of time on the neck position, but here would be the center position. And of course, the bridge position. That's something I use a lot when I'm more on the clean side of things. But the big thing for me is, if you've seen any of my other stuff, you know I generally play things like Ibanez. So the necks tend to be a little bit thinner on them. So the first thing with this is that it's a 22 fret guitar. It's not 24, it's 22. Feels great. Everything's really comfortable to play. But I will say that the neck is a little bit thicker than I'm used to playing. But it's still really easy to play, and I'm assuming that the neck needs to be a little bit thicker to support the system that it's built for. But it plays really great. It stays in tune really well. And with that whole plek'd system, the whole thing is set up really close to the frets, which works really great for me. Makes it really easy to play. So how does it sound? Well, I think it sounds really good. I think those 59s, of course, I've had 59s before in guitars, but I think it sounds really great. But even more importantly for me is that it feels really good to play it. So what we'll do now is let's move over to some more distortion here. Okay. So I'm going to drop down into the bridge. So obviously the pickups are very responsive, so it makes for really great heavier stuff too. Okay, let's listen to that neck position a little bit here. All right, and then of course we can go kind of in between there. So it feels good, it sounds good, it's very versatile. I don't do a lot of coil tap stuff, but if you do, it's available in there as well. One thing I will say with this neck is that where this bends, which we're going to look at in just a second here, okay, there's a whole kind of mechanism back here because it's going to bend. And again, I can show you this here, right here. Now, you'd think that that being there would be kind of in the way when you're trying to play, and it's really not. It's not obtrusive at all. You can kind of just go over that very smooth, and although you can feel it with your thumb, you don't get caught on it or anything like that. It's very easy to just kind of slide by that. And I've heard that all of the guitars are hand-built, which is cool too, just to make sure that everything feels the way it's supposed to. Like I said, it's so interesting because it seems like you'd go, oh, it's a gimmick guitar that folds. And I would say it's just the opposite. I would say it's a valid guitar, a real guitar, that its specialty is that it folds so you can take it with you when you go places. So let's look at that folding capability right now. All right. So what I'm going to do is flip this over so you can see this. So all you do is you take this lever and you lower that. Okay, and it takes no effort whatsoever, and then it folds over. And now you can put that in the case that comes with it. There's a bag that comes with it. You can put that in and you're ready to go. So that's all you do. It's that easy. And then you flip it back out and you grab this mechanism again and you lift it and you put it back in place. And now it's back and ready to go. Now, the truth is, you know, I get people will say, well, when you fold it and unfold it, does it stay in tune? I will say with the 10 gauge strings on there, it stayed in tune almost exactly. When I put 9 gauge strings on it, it doesn't stay in tune near as well when you flip it back out. Now, after 2 minutes of tuning, you're back where you want to be, right? So it just takes a little bit of tuning and you're right back. But you don't need to loosen these or anything like that when you fold it down. You literally just pull that lever and you flip it and you're ready to go, okay? Is there a little bit of tuning afterwards? Yeah, so if I was, let me just check it here. So the first thing that I've done with having 9 gauge is when I flip it back, I always wind up kind of pulling those strings back and kind of getting myself set again. But it always seems it goes a little sharp and then I have to readjust it. But once I've done that, then I'm back again. So it just takes that much and I'm back to do my thing again. So it doesn't, again, in my experience with these 9 gauge strings, you just need to tweak it a little bit. So it's not like you can just flip it and go. You're going to have to tune it a little bit, but a lot of times when you fly with a guitar under the plane or whatever, you have to tune it a little bit, or every day you tune your guitar a little bit anyway. So I don't see that as a detriment, but I will say when the 10 gauge strings were on there, it stayed in tune when I flipped it back out a lot better. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Again, the Ascender Standard Plus is this version. They have other ones too, but if you're someone who travels a lot and you're looking for something for a real guitar that you can use when you go places, maybe you just, do a lot of traveling and it's nice to have it in your personal item so you can practice all the time. Maybe you're a gigging musician where you do a lot of traveling and you do a lot of session work, or you do a lot of fill-in gigs, things like that, and you don't always want to have to bring a guitar with. And it's, again, fine if you bring a guitar, but this just makes things really easy. A lot of times if I'm traveling, but I'm driving, this also makes it nice when I'm bringing the family along and we already have a bunch of stuff in the car. This fits really easy. And again, I don't have to be carrying around a full-size guitar all the time. So anyway, take care. Hopefully this helps you a little bit. Stay positive, keep practicing, and make sure that you check out Ciari Guitars, all right?